Okay, hey there guys. So in today's war we're up against New Nation, which this will be the last war for this season and the last season with Conduit for now, I guess, unless they decide to bring it back at some point for some reason, which would be really weird. So that's really nice. Um, it's been a season. I'll have some time to talk about the season throughout, so I'll just start off with the war for right now. So I'm just putting on my boosts. It was actually kind of funny because I tried to plan my war around not having to buy those boosts, but then I realized I didn't really have any of the orange or red boosts in standard, so I had to buy them either way if I wanted to actually boost, which we do still want to keep our attack bonuses low because our standings aren't the best that they've been, but with the right things happening, we do still want our attack bonus to be as high as we can, so we have to take this war serious. We want to try to go for as low to death as we can. By the time I took this fight, people were pretty sure that we had already won this war, if I'm being honest. So, I have this Scared Stiff Nick Fury again. For Section 1, I just had to apply a white Magneto for my two white Magnetos for my teammates, so of course didn't record that. As it's now obvious, I've taken this fight a lot, and this fight varies a ton depending on the AI and your RNG with Archangel, especially because there's no more Horsemen for the season with Apocalypse being banned and all that. So, with that timer that just expired during that SP1 kind of, I wasn't too worried because I knew I had the 3 neurotoxins, and right there, again, kind of like I said in the last one, my plan has become to push him to the SP2 as often as possible, and as you see, I can just punish it a lot quicker if he's willing to throw it. And I really need him to throw this heavy here, and he did, but I didn't want to risk it because I would have had to at least intercept him on that second hit, which is just a little bit like, it's a little bit more risky feeling. It's actually very, very easy. It's literally the same spacing and timing. You just throw it a little bit earlier. And right now I'm having a little bit of trouble getting my, getting my neurotoxins up. He just was not having it. He only had 2 neurotoxins right there, so if you saw, right as I got to 10, I dex out mid-combo because I don't have an invulnerability boost on for this fight. And that fight went very, very well. Not my fastest for sure, but it was a fairly solid fight. Right here I was looking for my teammate because I wasn't sure how much energy he had, and I wanted to try to get through my fight. Well, I have a couple more fights. So here's where I'm just going to talk about the season a little bit while I'm just buying some stuff, just checking out what I can get. This season's been not my best. On a personal note, I don't think it's been GT40's best season either. I can say, like, luckily for myself, I had a lot more deaths than I would have liked, and I didn't really like any of the deaths. Like, maybe for like for the one that I literally couldn't record, you could say it was bad AI, or just different things, but in the end I needed to play better on those, and this was not my best season. Luckily, as I was saying, fortunately for me, the deaths I had, we won all 3 of those wars. So that's nice, but it still doesn't excuse having 3 deaths in a season, and I didn't take like 100 fights or something. Even then, you shouldn't have 3 really for being top 3 masters for this many seasons now for GT40. So I've enjoyed the season a lot. I love playing with the GT40 group, and I'm just so glad I got to be here again. And with new officers, a lot of friends in my BG that are different now, still people I know. It's just been an absolute amazing season outside of my playing. So here I get to bring in Claire again. I decided not to turn suicides on for this because I don't want to waste a ton of potions on Archangel. I don't want to turn them back on and back off and all of that stuff. Plus I have MD on, so if you see, I'm going really crazy when I'm nullifying his buffs, and every single time I get hit or hit him, I'm going to also trigger my immunity. Pretty soon is where I get like a little bit confused on my plan for what I wanted to do for the fight, because once I hit 20, I kind of want to throw an SP3, but because of the falter and his SP1 spacing, and I don't like really doing that dash in, dash out or the dash in and block on Super Scroll too much. I just haven't practiced it really. So as you see, I start dropping charges and I get the immunity back up, and I'm like, do I just spam my SP2 here, or do I try to get up to that SP3 to finish him off? But then I'm like, well, how much is it going to do? So I just kind of get stuck in this mental cycle of, do I want SP2 or do I want SP3? Especially while I'm like baiting that special, because baiting specials can be a little bit mindless sometimes when it's someone like Super Scroll. And as you can see here, I'm like really close to trying to decide, so I think I go for another SP2. That's honestly where I should have gone for that SP3. But I go for that SP2, and I'm just still full health. I'm just chilling in this fight. Like, this is not a fast fight, but this assignment isn't meant to be too fast. I have to stay in her bleed mode, which is literally her lowest damage mode. And I should have probably gone for more SP3s. I'm going to throw it right here. I was like, this will kill, right? Sure. Even if I don't push him to SP3 here. But this SP3 is going to more than kill, as you can see. I wonder if I let the screen go around long enough to see how big of an SP3 that was. Biggest hit will always be SP3, pretty much. 40,000. Pretty solid SP3. And thankfully I had Egg here, who is going to help me out. Yeah, Egg. Who's going to help me out with some energy. I also have my energy refills here. And he was kind enough to also be willing to use one energy refill of his own to get me up to Mini Boss Island. So I have this Silver Surfer here. It's very similar, honestly, to that Section 1 Silver Surfer, but easier? Like, it doesn't have Conflictor. It has, does it even have Buffet anymore? No, I don't even know if it has Buffet, honestly. So yeah, I'm just communicating with him before I put on my 3-minute boost, because I've done that before, where we've had a miscommunication, and as you saw, I only have that one invulnerability boost. So I just wanted to make sure beforehand. So again, just thank you so much to him. Always like getting that taxi. I know I've been the taxi, and I've gotten taxied plenty of times in this alliance, and it's something you do for people. Yeah, that's why it's good to like the group you're in. It makes doing that taxiing or spending your loyalty on energy just a little bit more bearable. So again, this fight, pretty much that Section 1 fight, but just easier. It's block penetration instead of Furies. It's not Conflictor, so I don't have to use White Magneto and then worry about the power gain and him eating my my bleed, right? It's literally all easier. And I already got my 3 neuros up, so he can't get the armor, so he can't glance anymore. And the fight is pretty much done. I'm just going to throw SP1 again. Let those neurotoxins just go during that. Take the neurotoxins, stun, and go into that heavy there. Right there, I lose all those neuros and I don't get the stun, which is honestly fine, but it just takes him down during that. Very, very simple fight. Right here, teammate's going to move up, and I have that Mordo, and that'll be the last fight for my season. There's still a couple more fights for me to post. I believe I haven't posted the TCN War, and there might be another one I just forgot. I just got really... Yeah, it was just I didn't have the energy to post in the middle of the season right there for a little bit, that last little bit. So there's a couple big wars I still got to get out. I mean, namely, that TCN War is a really, really big one, really interesting war. Yeah. So I have this Mordo here, which is that power reserve, and the missing in action, which those are the two main things here. So Archangel's really nice for this because he has to naturally heavy a ton anyway. So you really do a good job at keeping that falter off, and then with your ability accuracy reduction, all of that, it works pretty nicely. So right there, if you saw, I went for the reparry, and then I could have gone for the heavy, but I went reparry combo just to make sure that I would time out his power gain. Right here, I'm like, oh, he just doesn't come in. So I go for the heavy, resist, and it goes through. Whew. Already down to 50%, and here's where the fight's going to get a little bit crazy. My passive stun goes off, and the neurotoxin expires, making him astral evade, eating indestructible, and he double resists my heavy, so I freak out and I throw SP1. He's almost at SP3, and I was worrying he was going to hit that. He was going to hit me and then go up to that, and then SP3, and he's going to take a ton of damage there. Right there, I luckily get a nicely timed one where he comes in right before his power gain, and now he's just going a little bit passive, and then I miss that parry out of like nerves or whatever. I go for another heavy here, and again, he double resists me there. Mr. Harry's got to be running that 3 out of 3, or 5 out of 5 stand your ground. Right there, I got really lucky on that connection, and I'm just holding block. I just want him to come in. Right there, I actually shouldn't have heavied. I should have waited longer for the power gain, because he's very unlikely, honestly, to throw that SP3 while he's holding block with the power gain, and I'm also holding block. Fortunately, SP3 doesn't do much. Measly 15k. And he's already heal blocked, so those neurotoxins that I was able to finally get back on, drop him out. And the first 30 seconds he goes down to 50%, and that's a 1.5-minute fight. I just want to point that out. Which is why I say this. Yeah, I'm glad the season's over. It's been a really fun one, but it's been a crazy one. So we're down on fights by a lot, but this is why I was saying that when I took that Nick Fury and I did my little push, you were kind of saying the war is not like over. It's not over, of course, but that we have a very big lead. Noon just not their best war, and then like they didn't have to really try too hard, I think. I don't know exactly. Watch their videos, I guess, for a more accurate guide. Pardon me. So, yeah, just great season. This was a good war to finish it off with. I'm happy with those fights. Hopefully next season goes a lot better. GG to New Nation. Always a top alliance to face. Really fun. Like a lot of the guys there, so can poke fun at some of them. Yeah, check out their stuff too. Yeah, this has been a really, really good season. Thank you guys for watching through the season. There'll be a couple more videos about this season, but this is technically the end of the season, so I wanted to get some of this stuff out of the way. And I won't say anything more than that actually, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll be seeing you guys soon. Bye.